Hello. So, when I do reading videos for us, these will go up on a different site on YouTube, on my own YouTube page, Rainbow Stars. And when I do it, even though I'm talking to my classroom, Rainbow Stars, I'm also going to make this video public, so anyone that wants to read this story with me can. So it's kind of for you guys, but it's also kind of for anybody who wants to read a story. And so I'll do a couple of these every week where I put them up on YouTube and put the link on our Seesaw for you guys to go watch me read a story for you and anybody else that wants to watch it. And since we are at home a little more than normal right now, I thought I would read a book about an imaginary friend. It's called The Adventures of Beekle, and it says The Unimaginary Friend. And so this is by the author Dan Santat, and he's the one who wrote one of my favorite books that we read about Humpty Dumpty, about after the fall, about how Humpty Dumpty turns into the eagle at the end. And so I thought I'd read this because when we're at home, we might have to pretend a little more than normal. And so I think it's kind of a good way to think about things, think about how to use our imaginations, and how this author really uses his imagination. He was born on an island far away, where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. And so here in this imaginary world, all of these imaginary friends are born from a rainbow. And here he is. And look at this imaginary friend. He's a drum, a cloud, a big panda robot. Every night, he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. You can see here the cat, the giant cat imaginary friend is, some child has imagined him. And there he goes to his child. But his turn never came. How's he feeling? Yeah. He's feeling a little worried and sad. He made some cool sand castles. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So here he's imagining that this boy is his child that will imagine him, and he's winning a trophy in soccer, he's reading books, playing guitar, baking a cake. Here he's juggling the balls. So rather than waiting, here's Beekle. He's doing something there. He did the unimaginable. And there, look, he's made a sailboat, and he's sailing off out of the imaginary place. And there's this imaginary dragon friend seeing him off. He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. There's some whales, big giant sperm whales. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on until he reached the real world. And so look here, he's sailing up to a real city. But the real world was a strange place. No kids were eating cake. Just some adults eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music. So here, he's in a subway, and no one's listening to this man playing the music. And everyone needed a nap time. And so here on the subway, so this is a train that he's riding, everyone's tired. All the adults are tired. Then he finally saw something familiar. Ah, that was one of the imaginary friends we saw earlier. And he had a good feeling about this place. So what did he find? He found a playground with lots of kids. And here, it shows him going all around the playground, following the kids. Looking, here is the imaginary octopus. Must be this kid's friend. Here he's going up here, around. There's the cloud. Some kid has an imaginary friend. I think maybe this boy, because it's blowing his kite. There, if you look close, there's the cat imaginary friend. Yeah. But he looked everywhere and he could not find his friend. And so he climbed to the top of a tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. So there he goes to the top of the tree, kids are playing, hoping his friend will come. But no one came. Oh. And there, all alone in the trees, feeling kind of sad again and worried. Traveled all this way and he still can't find his child. He thought about how far he'd come and how long he waited, and he felt very sad. And then he heard a noise below. Hello! And there, this little girl, she's calling to him. She lost her paper, it looks like. And so, he brings it back to her. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. And look what she drew. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them had made a friend before. So here, they're not quite sure what to do. But after a little while, here she's laughing, and she says, Alice. And he thinks about it. And then he doesn't know his name, it's a question mark. And so she says, Beekle. And they realized that they were perfect together. And there he says, I'm Beekle. And she says, hi, Beekle. And they hug. So Beekle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks and they told funny jokes. And here's her drawing pictures of their adventures. And here he is resting with her while she's doing all her coloring. And the world began to feel a little less strange. And so they're back in the park. There's that imaginary friend. And this boy's waving to her. And together, they did the unimaginable. And look, now they're all friends with their imaginary friends. The kind of robot panda. I see the octopus over here, the cloud, and the lizard-like thing. So I just like this book because normally we think about how kids come up with imaginary friends or use their imaginations when they're playing. But in this book, the imaginary friend has to find his kid. And so I think it's a really unique way to think about how we imagine things. And we have to do maybe a little more imagining now than normal when we're at home, playing maybe by ourselves more than we want or just with our brother and sisters. So, that was a nice book for today. All right, See you guys later.